Hello, members to public for my first time. Members to public for my first time. Very excited. Very excited. Oh, let's see what we got popping here. I know this will go out to my members who are at top tier level. To get the live streams, and then after this, members, it will go public, so I'm pretty excited about that. Today we are going to cover a few topics. I hope you're all having a good Wednesday. If you don't mind, I'm going to light an incense so I can get some smells going up in here. You know, incense is very popular here in Merida. And another thing that I like, in the States they usually have a flat holder. Here they have the curved one, so it catches all your ashes. I think it's just smart, among many of the other things that they do smart in Merida, in Mexico. So we're going to get right into it. You guys see the topic, why you're stuck and how to get free. Again, welcome in. If you're here and you're interested, I have the protection incense. There's people making $1 million doing this right here. I love it. So if you're here and you're looking for incense and you're an incense lover or oils or anything like that, Merida is very rich in that when it comes to the culture. Okay, we have a lot of things in common. So again, happy Wednesday. Today we're going to get into the subject of why you're stuck and how to break free, because you know we don't just talk about problems here. This is a solution-based platform. Before we get into that, shortly, this conversation will be part of the conversation that we had with Tonya. If you missed that interview, go back and look at it. It was about self-care, what it looks like for Black women particularly versus the mainstream. Okay, and it ties directly into what we're talking about today. You feel me? Pardon me. So, breaking free from the USBS construct can be quite daunting. How well I know. However, I am proof that it is indeed possible, and I think it's even more possible for some of you all because you have the means to do it, the drive to do it. So today we're going to talk about what is it that you don't have, what is it that is holding you back, the real reason that you're not free yet. Okay, so let's just call it out like we see it. It can be anything stopping us or stopping you from money or logistics. However, the real battle is 9 times out of 10 mental conditioning, fear, and emotional blocks. Most people don't even realize that they're self-sabotaging. We all do that in different parts of our lives, and we self-sabotage on our way to the high road of freedom. So let's break it down. Breaking free starts on the inside. So one of the things that Tanya and I talked about in our interview was the very first thing that we talked about was environment, and how it's so effective, how it's so impactful, how it really is the blueprint for everything that we exhaust within ourselves. So environment plays a heavy part in our ability to move forward, to gain momentum, and it's very hard to heal in a place of toxicity, which I will proudly speak is where you are. Okay? And I don't mean that only geographically. I don't mean that only where you are physically sitting. Your environment also impacts your work environment. Who are you working with? Your co-workers, your boss, being stressed out. I know my sister had a difficult situation with her boss, and guys, she was waiting for it to retire and she didn't make it. Okay, she retired, but not the way she thought she would, right? So family is another environment. If you're in the environment where it's self-defeating, where you get a lot of pushback, where you're not receiving a lot of support in your family or relative, family versus relative arena, you leave in a toxic environment at work, then go into a toxic environment at home, and family can be sisters, brothers, mother, father, or husband, wife, children, having issues, which is expected in today's society. Another environment is housing, where your house geographically is. Is it in the hood? Is it in a high-risk area? Do you feel safe? We're talking about environment. Environment is also food. It's what you intake. It's what you consume. It's what you digest or not. What just sits in the palate, sits in the body, in the metaphysical body and mindset, which I call mental monetization, right? Begets mental motivation. Are you in a deficit? Is you in the red? Okay? When it comes to environment, look at these things. Think about them and rewind for later, because we're going to get to how to use this to motivate you out of your place of comfort and complacency. The next thing we're going to break into is the excuse trap, which is huge. Excuses, anybody got one? Or two or three or eight? Common excuses that we all experience. I don't have enough money. You done already told the universe you ain't never gonna have none. I don't know where to go. You ain't look nowhere to find nowhere. I can't leave family. Why? Why? When the real issue may be fear. I don't have enough money, right? Fear, guilt. What did I do? What do I do? What have I done? Right? And the biggest one to me is programming. Because you have been programmed to fail. You've been programmed to think small. You got to think big, right? Got to think big. Okay? The next thing is what it actually takes to move from the excuse trap, right? And this is where the big impact comes in, guys, because it's about community. It's about seeing people who look like you, who've been through what you've been through, who are considering, and not only consider, but make the move we on this side as proof that you can do it and that it has been done. And so we just sitting here waiting on you, right? And some are not waiting, they going on, right? And unfortunately, some are going back. So, right? What it actually takes, seeing other people do it, proof that it's possible. We have an upcoming interview with another young lady named Maya. She's wonderful. I've checked out some of her YouTube videos, and she made the move. And so we're going to talk to her about how she pushed past her fears, her limitations, any guilt or programming she may have had, how she self-cared instead of other cared and made the move. So that is what it takes. Tuning in, plugging in, disconnecting from plugging in over there and plugging into a source that will fill you up instead of drain you. Now, my personal journey, you guys know, from moving to rebuilding, which I'm still in the process of doing, and shifting out of the USBS mentality was not an easy step. But however, I took the steps. I took one step and another step and then another step and then another. What are those steps? Let's talk about it. Tangible steps that you can journal about and commit to today. Tangible things that you can reflect on, okay? I wanted to give you all a lot of information in a short amount of time because I got a consultation coming up. Okay, so let's get into it. And thank you for the consultations from the special that is still going on until the end of March, where you can come and talk to me about your specific issues. We can come up with a game plan, action plan, something you can do today, just like we're doing right now, but specifically catered to you. Action steps for those ready to make the move abroad. This ain't about moving to Merida. This is about your environment. We talked about it. Your work environment, your family environment, your housing environment, food environment, mindset, mental monetization, mental motivation, environment. All that it encompasses you. Okay? So get honest. What's really going on? What's really holding you back? Okay? Here is your prompt for today. Journal. You guys know I keep at all times. That's when my head is going back and forth because I got notes. I keep it. And if you don't, I don't know why, but I'll wait till you get it. I've waited. Now we gonna go on. You gonna have to pause it, right? So y'all know when y'all come look at me, you got to have paper and pen because I'm gonna give you something to do, and that starts now with you writing down 3 reasons. 3, 1, 2, 3. Uno, dos, tres. Reasons why you haven't moved yet. Now, ask yourself honestly: are these real obstacles or just fear-based illusions and excuses? It's got to be tangible. It needs to be real. So don't just write down the first thing you think of. Think about it thoroughly and come up with 3. Write down 7 and deduct the reason till you get to a place where you like, this is a solid 3. Okay? If you want to put it in the chat, put it in the chat. Yo, 3. It might be somebody, let me go check my chat. I've been moving and grooving. I don't have nobody, and that's okay because this is on a small platform. However, I know people will see it later and it will go from private or member to live because I want everybody to get this information. I need you right now. Fear-based excuses. The next thing, okay? If someone handed you $10,000 today, would you still hesitate? And I would say, if so, then it ain't about money. It's about mindset. Word, right? Write it down. Put it in the chat. Shift your thinking instead of asking, can I move? Ask, how will I move? Okay? So shift your thinking, and instead of asking, can I move? Start asking, how will I? This sets the wheels in motion. It goes from thinking to doing. Because how will I move means you got to move. You got to make the plan. You got to journal it, or you got to start selling something. There will be movement when you ask yourself these questions. Okay? The next thing. Next page. Flip it. Okay, excuse the sipping. It's pretty early for me to be online. Identify what's keeping you tied to the USPS. What attachments make you hesitate? Right? What are the hesitations when you think about it and you ponder it? What makes you pause? What gives you pause? Is it family, relatives, job, stability? Fear of the unknown is a good one. What will happen on the other side? That's where Your key players come in when you can see through other people what happens. According to your game plan, talk to somebody. Okay? Reality check time. You can love your family and still leave. You can have doubts and still take action. Facts. Okay? Here is your next journal. Get your pen and paper ready. Number 1. What am I afraid of? What am I afraid will happen if I leave? What am I afraid of? What will happen? What will happen if I leave the USPS? Write it down. Put it in the chat. Most times it'll be like nothing. Freedom. But what am I afraid will happen? Right? Here's your next one. What's the worst case scenario? And how could you handle it? What's the worst case scenario when you leave? Not if you leave, when you leave. And how would you handle it? Or how could you handle it? This is where planning comes up, your backup plan. You'll not only plan A and B, but A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way through. Okay? Now, conversely, what's the best case scenario if you actually take the leap of faith? What is the best case scenario if you go ahead, y'all, and take the leap of faith? Okay? Now, after you answer those questions, you're going to have to go back. And believe me, I'll put all this in the description so that you know exactly what to do. I want you to do it and report it back to me. Travel abroad at tianikki.com. Rewrite the narrative and replace I can't leave my job, family, life, etc. to I can create a new life that actually aligns with me. How about that? I can, not I can't. And I can create. You are the creator of your own story. You are the star of your own story. You are writing the whole thing right now. Okay? So now, let's move on to the next strategy, which is the exit strategy. So today, I want you to create your own exit strategy in 30 minutes. I want you to get a timer on your phone. Put a countdown timer on your phone. And this can be an exercise for later because I got a little bit more before I go. And then we're going to come back to this live again. And we're going to talk about it. I might go live every day this week. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. That's what I'm going to start doing now as I get settled in my new place. I'm not so sporadic. I have some grounding. And I like doing this, right? And I know you guys need to hear it. And you need to do it. So create your own exit strategy in 30 minutes. Set a timer. And write down 3 countries that interest you. 3 countries that you go, that seemed kind of like a cool place to live in. That seemed kind of like a cool place to live in. Right? Write it down, write it out. 3 places. 3 places. The next thing. The visa. Now you guys know the climate is changing. If you don't have your passport, I do not know why. You need to get it and stop playing. Okay? Once you got that, the visa options available for each of the places that you want to go. They got digital nomad visas. They got come here and live 3 months to a year and we'll pay you to live here visas. They got come to the cold place visas, come to the hot place visas. They got a lot of visas. Do you know which one you want according to where you want to go? Have you researched it? Okay. This is your chance to do so in 30 minutes. This ain't no ongoing exercise to take a long time. You're going to give yourself 30 minutes. You can be in the bed. You can be eating breakfast, whatever you're doing. And Google it. AI it. And get the information. The next thing, a rough budget. Okay? Y'all know I'm big on budget. A rough budget for moving. So like the flight, 3 months of living expenses, the job transfer, or a new job. Whatever it is that you got in your budget, do you know what that number is? And do you have it? How close are you to getting to it? If you have it, I don't know why you're looking at me and not already on the plane. Okay? And the last thing is, one thing you can do this week, Wednesday to Wednesday, right, to move forward, right? Book a trip, research, join a group, connect with people, journal. What is one thing that you can do? One thing. I want you to do it, okay? And consistency is key. Consistency is key. And remember, your exit plan does not have to be perfect. It just has to exist. Okay? Another thing you can do now is start detaching from the matrix right now. You don't have to wait till you leave to start living differently, to start thinking differently, to start moving differently. So, do this today. Open up a bank account outside of the U.S. You don't need to go to a physical bank. You can open up a Wise account. I know there are no cards available, but that has nothing to do with having the app and the Wise account on your phone. It's how I used to pay rent. Okay? Or Revolut. That's another good place to get a card. Dollar app. A good place to open up an account. Next thing, start decluttering and selling things you do not need. Merida is a place of minimalism. Half the things we have in the States, they don't have here. Like dressers. Dressers, chest of drawers are inside the closet to minimize space. To minimize space taken up. Very basic, comfortable, uncluttered, really productive space. Peaceful. Right? So start your decluttering now. Stuff you can do now. Sell things you don't need. Get rid of it now. Reduce your dependence on the U.S. system. Meaning, cut your expenses. Start clearing up your debt. You can do that good living abroad here in Merida or somewhere else outside of the country where prices are lower so you can make those double payments. And look into remote income, your side hustle. What skills do you have that you can monetize and share with others? Okay? Remember, every step you take makes it easier for when the time comes for you to exit the U.S. BS. Okay? Lastly, rewire your mindset for freedom. And I know that's easier said than done. Because you're used to being happily captive. You don't know, but you are. And some of you do know. It is essential, imperative that you rewrite the script, right? So most people and clients fail, return back, or don't experience the fullness of living abroad because they never mentally left. I know, honey, baby, even recently I've dealt with email and message after message about the negativity going on in the United States. First of all, I see it. Second of all, I have a choice whether I want to see it because I ain't there. And on a larger scale of things, Claudia Sheinbaum, where I'm living, the laws here, the Constitution here, when I remain here, is what matters to me. I have empathy. I have compassion. but I do not have to swallow, and neither do you, the USBS. Don't send me no messages telling me all the bad things that are happening. The whole world is watching. Believe me, we're watching. You live it. Okay? Mental mind shift has to happen. And even when people leave, they still bring the same limiting beliefs with them. And they will gladly share it with you, but it's your job to learn how to protect, shield boundaries, and return to sender. Return to sender, okay? The best way to achieve the mind shift, right? The mindset shift for freedom is daily affirmations. I talk about it all the time. Meditation affirmation to rewire your mind. Your mind is a component. It is a functioning library, memory, bank, engine, machine, right? It records, it responds, all of it. And you can reprogram, just like you've been pre-programmed. You can reprogram your mindset. I am free to create the life I want. Repeat. I am free to create the life I want. Next, I release all fears about leaving the USBS. I release all fears about leaving the USBS. Abundance and opportunity flow to me wherever I go. It don't matter. I can be here, I can be there, I can be up, I can be down, I can be left, I can be right. It's all a part of the same compass, and that compass encompasses me, and abundance and opportunity flow wherever I go. Word. So freedom starts in the mind. It starts in the mind first, then in your passport. Okay? So, right? Which of these steps are you committing to today? Drop it in the chat. Let's hold each other accountable and build a community. And I know for some of you all that is new. It's new. We're a community, right? You feel alone, but you indeed are not. You're just amongst the wrong folk. You got to get around your folk. No excuses, tangible actions that you can use to move forward today. Do it the way you do it. Do it what fits you. Talk to me. That's why I give consultations. Talk to me and tell me what you need. Tell me how you trying to move, what you trying to do. And I definitely will help you get there without a question of a doubt. I've helped many. I've helped many. I'm telling you, I have. And I will help many more as long as they know that they need to be free. Like my girl Harriet said, you know what I'm saying? So that is it for today. I'm going to get ready for my call. Hopefully this has been helpful. A shout out to my Pisces viewers, family members. Pisces season is upon us. The new moon is here. Change is here. Things will start picking up for most people. We've been kind of stuck, I think, as a group. We've been stuck. No matter what sign you are, you've been stuck. And now things are moving ahead. And I got a news flash for you. Things are going to move ahead with you or without you. But I want you to get on the gravy train. I want you to get on the gravy train, and I want you to take advantage of these opportunities, because these opportunities, the doors are slowly closing. We know about the visa changes. We know about the green card changes. We know about everything that's happening with the USPS right now. Yes, indeed we do. So, you have a window of opportunity. The question is, will you take it? Will you take it? Right? All right, y'all. This will go public after this. I know you pay for these lives, so I wanted to make sure I gave you one. I want to thank you for being part of the membership. For anybody else who's watching, you want to join the membership, you get these type of videos live. You get inside information nobody else gets to see. Discounts on all kind of services that I offer. And I thank you guys for watching today. I appreciate you. And I will see you probably Sunday or sooner. All right. Have a good one. Peace. Do your work. Do the work.